Welcome back to another edition of the Metalworks Labs RC4RC, or better known as Returning Citizens for Returning Citizens podcast. This is a space where we bring in guests who are formerly incarcerated, who are now back in the community doing the doggone thing. And today's guest definitely meets or maybe even exceeds that criteria. So we want to bring on this today our special guest, Brother Miguel. How you doing today,
Yo,
brother?
man, I am doing great. Groovy like a strawberry shake.
So, so listen. Tell me just a little bit about. Tell me just a little bit about Miguel. Just some of your likes, dislikes, family. Just a general high overview of who you are.
um, okay. I am a reform guy from the streets, and what I mean by that is I left that alone and I started my own business, and I've been kind of going up with this business for years, shooting, you know, famous people all over the world, traveling and doing things that I never thought that I would actually be doing,
Sure.
and turning from a graphic designer to a photographer, and moved from a photographer to a videographer to now I'm a cinematographer. So um, I love what I do, and it really helped my life. I never thought that I would meet the people that I met, during my journey of this, and I love it. I love shooting, and like other cameramen that hate editing, I actually love editing, and like people they don't really like doing that.
Well, I know from my beginning here at with Metalworks and now Metal Labs, this new initiative. But I guess it's not new anymore because we've been doing it
Oh
for a
yeah, we
while.
killing it too.
Um, but I've been just in noticing your work and just the expertise and the love and attention and skill behind everything that you all do in the social media department. I've just been super impressed from day one of meeting you. The thing that really caught me off guard was when I had no idea that you were a returning citizen. I've had to ask you.
Hey,
I've asked you that question a couple times
yeah,
because it just
man.
hadn't fully sunk in.
And
But what
it ain't something to brag on. It's the old me. I wouldn't change it though.
but without the old me,
It wouldn't be me.
there wouldn't be no new me.
Yeah.
So Miguel, um, tell us a little bit about your backstory. What led up to your incarceration experience?
Um. So the first time, it was. I guess now it probably was just a crowd for help, but I was choosing to be. I wanted to be somebody big in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be. At the time, I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to be like a young Scarface. Like I wanted to be respected, feared, and that was really big to me. And like respect, and I was doing a lot of things to achieve that.
Right.
From selling drugs in the streets to um um scamming, and it ain't nothing that I honestly I didn't come across. Like I went out here doing human trafficking or nothing like that, but I definitely did some things to make quick money. And a lot of people don't know fast money
It's not
is
good money.
addictive, but it's not good, but it's addictive
Right.
because you gotta think about it. If I'm working a 9 to 5, and this 9 to 5 I'm making, let's say, $1,500 to $2,500, and I can go hit a lick and make that in an hour.
Exactly.
It's like a no brainer. But and I think a lot of times when people like me are in those situations, they don't have that piece of their brain to allow them to think about what
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the consequence of
Right.
those actions.
Right.
I never thought about the consequence. I was like, man, I'm about to get it now. Like,
Right.
what? I want that new car. I want them new shoes. I want that girl. I want this lifestyle, and I want it now.
Right.
And I didn't like seeing the people around me struggle. So, and I wasn't that guy. So I wasn't the guy who did it, and I was just for myself.
Right.
Like, if I ate, everybody
Everybody
around
ate.
me ate.
Exactly.
You
That's
know,
what's up.
I'm not saying that everyone around me at the time when I was doing certain things was there for me and my well being, but
Right.
you know, it is what it is.
Right. I know. Just for myself, I'm kind of kind of the same scenario. Just wanting to wanting something. There's nothing wrong with wanting the things that we want
Right.
and wanting to live the way that we want to live.
100%.
But what I had confused was that I could do it tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put in the work. I didn't want to go through the process and like
Nah.
all the, Now I understand that the I call them the old. Well, I'm actually one of them now, but the old, gray-headed, bald-headed people
I think
that's
you choose.
in our
I think you
circle.
choose to be bald headed,
That's
man.
in our circle. I understand now that they are the most valuable resource that we have at our disposal. All I had to do,
Yeah.
if I'd have changed one thing, if I'd have just listened, period.
Yeah.
Even when it was against my own best judgment in the moment, when my father or my uncle or whomever was advising me in a situation to maybe you might want to pump your brakes right here and do this. If I'd have just took that advice, it would have saved me a whole lot of heartache and pain. So with that said, so again, just for context, so that everybody can understand what kind of a little bit better about what we've been through. How long did you? I noticed I caught one thing. You said your first time.
Yeah, so my first time actually happened in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, actually, and I was actually still a teenager. So I got assault on a government official. So I basically, if you know what a government official is, it could be many things, but this particular government official was an officer, and at the time it was multiple officers. So I still to this day don't remember the whole how it happened. I just know where I was. I was at a Raleigh, North Carolina. I was at a Raleigh high school, Raleigh High football game, and one of the cops on duty, when it's a rival game in southern areas, now in the northern areas they do it now too, but mostly in southern areas, when it's a rival game, they always have police on duty. And at the time, I was dating this girl at the time, and her niece and nephew wanted something from the concession stand, and I was like, I'll take them. So I took them. They gave me the money, and they're in the line. So they're in the line, and I'm on the side of them, and they're walking, and I'm just watching them because they're happy that they're in the line, you know. So I'm just watching them. At the time, I still remember everything to this day, certain pieces. Like I had the iPod Classic, that big fat jump. Y'all remember that jump with the little circle? And the AirPods that go like real deep into the part right here. And so I was jamming, not paying attention. But there's a podium that the people that's walking in line, they gotta go around to get back to the concession part of the line. So when I didn't see them, I had to catch back up to them. When I went like this to go around, I guess the officer he did assume that I cut line.
Right.
But I didn't cut line. I just I lost them, so I had to get back to where they were and get back next to them.
Right.
And how he did it, it kind of triggered me. And I always knew I had like a temper growing up, like, because I think I was like 16, 17 at the time. I think 15. It was between 15 and 16 where I was at the time. And he grabbed my my shoulder. It's a way that these officers can grab you to kind of like make you turn. So he grabbed my shoulder in a way where it kind of like turned me around, and then the earbuds, he yanked them. So when he yanked them, it hurt because them type of earbuds, when they was in, if you fall, the iPod will just fall out and the AirPods will still be in. That's how those was the good ones. But he yanked them out and it hurt. And when I didn't even know who he was when he did it, I just thought it was like a random person like trying to see me or something. And I'm already in attack mode, not knowing that this is a cop.
Right.
So he do it, and then when he do it, I'm like, it kind of like it like made my eyes tear up. So I was like, what? And I'm already in attack mode. And after he turned me, he did that. He kind of like yanked me out of the line. So it happened so fast. Remind you, I still don't know that this is an officer.
Right.
So my first
not coming up and identifying himself.
He didn't. He didn't say none of that. And they supposed to do that. Like he shouldn't even put his hands on me, especially not cutting the line. When he did it, I'm not sure if y'all know what a pivot step is, but it's like a big step, and then the back leg it slides. So when he threw me out of line and I looked, the first thing to do was, whoever this is, I'm about to knock him out.
Right.
That was the first indication. Like you disrespected me. Like that's all I saw. and I'm high headed. I'm a teenager,
Right.
and I'm smelling myself at the moment. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And then my dad also just came home. That's the other big piece of this. My dad did 15, 14. Yep, so I was 15. He did 14 years in prison. And when he came back out, I moved back from with my grandmother to back to North Carolina to be with
Right.
my dad so he can take care of me. So he can have his chance. So my mom did all his work. So I was there. So yeah, I was 15. When I took the pivot step and I slid, I'm about to hit him, and that's when I see that it is an officer. So I kind of, now I'm like probably like this close to him. First I was probably where the door was when I took that pivot step about to knock him out. I kind of like saw him, and then when I saw him, then I just start talking.
Right.
Now I'm like trash talking, like, cause now I'm trying to like not hit him and not fight as a cop.
But
So
still make sense out of what exactly
is
just
going
happened.
on.
Right,
Like, hey man, what you putting your hands on me for? Like, what? Da, 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 da. And then he's like, he's not understanding that he's wrong.
Right.
He don't know that he did it. He's the reason why I'm amped up.
Right.
So while I'm yelling, he then puts his hands on me again. So he goes and grabs like the back of my neck. So he's like this. So like, you know how when you ever wrestled before? So like that stance like that, he goes like this. He pushes me down and grabs my arm. Like he's basically trying to now put handcuffs on. So this is all I remember after
All
this.
this because he thinks you jumped line?
Man,
No conversation.
no conversation.
You didn't
like,
steal nothing?
yo, like if
You didn't assault nobody?
I didn't nothing. I swear, everything I love on my son's life. I'm telling y'all the God honest truth. After he did that, so remind you, my head is now. This sounds wild, but my head is now by his knees because he got me bent forward, and his pelvic is basically this way because he's in front of me right now, but I'm bent forward.
Right.
So while he's trying to bring the other arm around, I just lift up. So now his legs is up in the air, and because basically he's off balance. So when I lifted up, it lifted him up. All I remember, I got hit in the head with something, and it became multiple cops because I'm guessing they see what's going on. So I'm guessing I'm giving their point of view because in my point of view, I don't remember. After I got hit, I don't know what I did, but when I got in court, they said I punched the cop 4 times in the face. I hit this other cop, X, Y, and Z, because I woke up in the cell. I had my jaw was jacked, my jaw was broke, my arm was broke.
What?
I was jacked up, and they took me to. They took me downtown Raleigh, jail. I remember to back.
And you got a charge for this?
Oh yeah.
Lord.
Oh yeah, I was sitting there, and it happened on Friday. So I didn't see the magistrate or the judge until Monday. So I'm in there now.
Just in there.
But the thing about it is, this is my first time. I'm not scared. Nothing's wrong. Why? A lot of my cousins are in there. So it was kind of sweet. So that was probably the bad part. Now, I think if it would have happened in a different way, if I got locked up and I was scared, I think a lot of the decisions that I made in my life would be different because it would have been fear in me. It wasn't a fear factor at this time.
Right.
Only fear factor was that at the time, so my family, it were a lot of Bloods. It would have been scary if I got put into the Crip side.
Right.
So in Carolina, they color coordinated, like blue, red, and like a green area. So I was in the area where a lot of my family was, so it was kind of cool. It was sweet. Man, when I went to go see that judge, and because they was delegating back and forth. I think I was going back and forth to court for like a couple of weeks. The lawyer, the PD came in. My grandma flew back from D.C. She flew to Carolina. Family is there. My Uncle Wally is actually a detective with D.C. He just retired recently. So he used to work for like 4th District. He comes, boom, boom, boom. And they're in the room, and I still remember my uncle saying like, I don't believe my nephew hit these many cops because of the procedures that we were taught.
Right.
He said, how this is too many techniques that is taught to us as officers that this could never happen. Right. Not by one child. So, because I don't remember.
And you were how old at the time?
15.
15.
15. And it's crazy. When you Google it, like you Google my name and you go to the charge and you put my name and you go all the way down, it's going to say Fuquay Verena. You're going to see my name. And it happened in like 2000 and like 5, I think, is when it happened. So judge come out, they do the rulings of what is going to be, and it was like the sole government official, da 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 da, and all right, and then they said that the time it was like they was like something about 5 it was like 5 to 10, and I was like, what? Remind you, I knew I didn't. I felt like I didn't do nothing. So when they hit when it's 5 to 10, I look to the right. My grandma's crying, and my grandma don't cry. So I'm like,
Months?
what? No, years. So the PD said, look, man, we got a way to beat this. You plead guilty. We gonna get you this thing called first time offenders. You heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, first time offenders. He's like, yeah, you never done a crime. Da 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 da. Because right now they're gonna charge you. This is charge a adult charge,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna spend this time here, then you're gonna spend the rest of the time there, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. And I just was angry, so I was like, I just want to go to my cell.
Right.
So I went to my cell, and I was just sitting there thinking, now I'm scared. So I'm like, damn, I'm about to really do a long time in prison for something I don't even remember. Like I blanked out. I can't tell you if I did it or not, but I know I feel like I'm innocent.
Right.
To wrap it up, to get straight to the juice berries, the PD was like, "Hey man, I got a way around this that we can be good, but you still gotta plead. But what I want you to do is plead insanity."
Mm.
And he was like, "Yeah, so you gonna do a little bit of time here, and then you gonna go to in Carolina. It's this place y'all can Google this. It's called Holly Hills Mental Institute."
Mm-hmm.
And I had to do like I felt like it was a year I was in there, and then I had to do like 6 months or something like that in the psych ward.
Mm-hmm.
And this place was a big facility, and it's crazy because they don't have none of them here. So it's a big facility that it's like you live there, um, everything is there. It's like a
Residential treatment.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they had a basketball court there. It was good food. You know what I'm saying? But it was actually where I found out my illnesses. Like I found out that I was bipolar. I found out I had an impulsive control disorder, and ADD and ADHD. All the stuff that I never knew I even had, I found out there
Right.
because I was getting tested, and
Getting
they was trying to figure.
assessment. Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first situation, and that was scary as a kid. And then what made it worse, after I got out, Carolina told me I couldn't come to none of their schools because it happened on school grounds. So I was expelled. So they sent me here to DC. And that's where it got wicked. Because Carolina and DC is totally different. Carolina is like, yeah, you gonna get in trouble, gangs and stuff like that. It's not really it's not bad. But
Here,
DC, y'all different. It changed me.
it's all the way built
Oh.
for that. Because they know they're coming.
DC, I had to create a person.
Right.
Because Carolina, I was that guy.
Right.
Light skin was in. Girls liked me. I had friends. It was lit. I came here. I had some jabos on and a tall tee. Had a long hair, and I had a grill in my mouth. And the first school, the school I go to is Cardoza, 9th grade. Let me tell you, that outfit was not meant for DC. Well, they chewed me out, jowed me up and down, and the whole time I didn't even know that I had fake Jordans on, because my father was taking me to the flea market to get my Jordans. So,
You found out that day.
oh yeah, oh yeah, I got chewed. And then
I know.
the worst part is joning is like a sport here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Absolutely.
not meant for disrespect. It's
Right.
actually for fun.
Right.
But I didn't take it that way.
Right.
Nah, you can't talk about my mama. You can't talk about my grandma. Now I gotta fight you.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I got in a lot of trouble. And then that's when the next situation started to come.
Got it. So what was it like when you actually came to grips? Because being arrested is one thing, and going through the court process is one thing, and being even having an understanding of what you could potentially be facing. Right? What is the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario of the outcome? What was it like being sentenced and understanding that you were going to have to spend a period of your life in prison?
Um. Well, I think one of the first things that jumped in my head, and y'all gonna laugh, I was like, "Dang, I'm about to do all this time, and I'm still a virgin." Well, that's
That's what
real
came to
though,
your
right?
mind?
That's the first thing I ain't gonna hold you because I was in a situation where it was about to happen. I knew it was about to happen too. I was like, so that was like the first thing. Then the second thing was like, dang, I really let family down, and dang, my dad just came home, and I'm following his
Right.
footsteps. Um, uh, uh, it didn't really hit me as hard of the time frame because I still was in shock.
Right.
You know how like when someone passed away, it don't really hit you until like months later, like that they're
Right.
gone. So it didn't really hit me for real until actually I came home.
Okay.
How much time I lost from people. And when I did come home off that first situation, I realized a lot of people were treating me differently. Family,
Gotcha.
friends, all that.
So after you, um, what was the first situation like? The first camp or going through the diagnostic process. What was that like for you?
I mean, the first incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Or the first camp. When you first go in, we're in the county jail
oh
for a
yeah, yeah,
while.
yeah. So look,
Then you get
that
you
was
get
different
you
for
get
me.
sent to the actual
So
to
they
the
need to
spot.
get they need to get this process together because when the cops take you in and when you go through those doors, they
Mm-hmm.
take everything off. They process you. I feel like honestly, you down that hole for about 24 hours before you even get a bed.
Right.
Like, so you're sitting in this holding cell with a bunch of people in this hard concrete for all this time before they even send you upstairs to
Mm-hmm.
even get into if they're going to send you into a dorm or they're going to send you into a single cell or a double cell with somebody.
Right.
Um, so that process was like a lot for me because one, I had shorts on and my shirt was all ripped up. It was cold, cold, cold. So I got my hands in my shirt like this. I'm trying to get comfortable. I'm laying up on the wall. Finally, I now I'm doing push-ups because I'm like, dang, like I don't know if I'm about to have a celly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's gonna try me. So I'm thinking about everything that my dad actually told me.
Right.
Because I talked to my dad every day when he was
When
in
he was
jail.
away.
And my
Mm-hmm.
mom actually for a little bit, my mom ended up stopping, was taking me to see my dad in prison.
Got it.
So I used to see my dad, and then when I stopped seeing him, he would call me every day.
Right.
He used to draw me Dragon Ball Z pictures and send them to me. So I kind of like knew a lot, and he talks to me. So I kind of like knew what I was getting myself to. Almost kind of like I had like a
Roadmap.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
map of what I should.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
What
I
to
knew I was
expect.
like I had to be tough. So I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like prepping myself of when they take me upstairs to my cell if I'm going to be with another
Got it.
person.
Got it.
But apparently, because of my age, they put me in a cell by myself,
Got it.
which was actually a little bit more nerve wracking because I felt like the walls were closing in.
Right.
Um, and then even though they gave me a cot, that that metal thing it was on, it still was like hard, so I couldn't get comfortable. I was still cold. I felt like the cover that they gave us, it was like wool. It still had,
I
oh,
remember. I
what I'm
remember
talking
that one.
about.
Lord have mercy.
And
The
then
whole situation.
then
Yep.
I wasn't a fan of bologna,
Mm-hmm.
so it was bologna and cheese, and they gave me like
Lunch.
this lemon cookie on
Yep.
top.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so
You
that
taking me? I can't deal with it.
yeah, man.
That's too. That's too much. That's
Yeah,
too
so
much.
I
So
remember in
so
detail, man.
so we're gonna do this. I'm sure we're gonna have to have you. We're gonna have to have you back, and we're gonna talk about more
Okay.
about the actual incarceration experience. But one of the main reasons, the purposes for this show is really having folks on to talk about what we're doing after the incarceration experience. So when you came home, let's fast forward to coming home, coming to Prince George's County. What were some of the goals that you had that you wanted to accomplish?
Um, Honestly, at the time, I just wanted to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I just started to try to adapt to the DC culture.
Mm-hmm.
I had to abandon my southernness.
So when you first came to the DMV, you came to DC. Not to marry. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
I went and moved in with my grandmother on Girard Street, uptown by Rhode Island Avenue, and that was 2007.
Shout out for Gerard Street.
Yeah, man. 2007, I moved here. But it's crazy because it was kind of back and forth. Because before I moved with my dad, I was living in Saratoga with my mom in DC. But when my dad came home, but I don't remember that time. I don't remember those younger days with my mom. I remember like glimpses.
And how long were you gone again? How long were you in prison for that time?
So that was a year and 6 months.
Okay.
And then that was just the first time because I went back
and you
multiple.
come home in what year?
So I came back here in 2007. So that was 2005, 7 is when I came back.
2007.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, 2007. And I moved here. And once I moved here, I moved back with my grandma. She put me in school. And things was okay so far. 2007, now I'm 17. So it's crazy because my years and my birthday and my age goes with the
Right.
2000. So 2000, I'm 10. 2001, I'm 11. That's how my birthday. That's how my age was. So when 2017, I kind of was messed up because remember you, I missed so much school. I went into 9th grade as a 17-year-old.
Got it.
So when I went to those, I was 17 years old in the 9th grade. So I'm older than everybody in you know my
In your grade. Right?
my grade. So I did get that's where I picked up the camera for the first time. I got a camera and I started taking it around the school and recording. And I used to record rap battles. I did that for a while, but that's when I started, hanging with the wrong people, and then that's when more stuff started to happen. So
Got it.
I didn't come here with a plan. I just came here to get away from what happened there. But it didn't shake me up to be cautious from anything else because I was innocent.
Right.
Then
in that first situation
in Carolina, I wasn't really on nothing, but of course I was hanging with bad crew there, but it was more so we was big on respect, and I was hanging with the Bloods, and that was me. But we weren't doing nothing. I lived in a trailer park, so other trailer parks that was trying to come and beef with us. That's how it was. It was that type of stuff that I was involved in. When I moved here in DC, things got different. That's when the drug stuff started to come.
Whole nother level.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level. So, yeah. But if I fast forward it, because you said we're gonna come back. My most recent incarceration was I got incarcerated in Chicago, and that was probably the worst one because that was one I got a Class X felony, and that
which is for the audience so they can understand.
So Class X felony is probably like one is the top tier of the felonies, and mine wasn't for harming anyone. I actually did some scamming, but the scamming level I did it on was like on a 10th degree. And the crazy part about it is what I got caught for, I actually didn't do. So I was fighting for years.
Right.
I got the charge in 2017. Didn't know, but they didn't catch me until 2020. 2020 was 2021. Yeah, 2020 is when they actually caught me in Chicago. So, and they only caught me because I was going to go shoot. I went out there for two reasons. I went out there with my mans, and I also was going to shoot a video for Lil Durk. Tail light came. Tail light was out. They ran my ID, and I messed up because the ID I pulled out was the fake ID I had. I was like, oh no, wrong ID. I'm tripping. I should just let them sort that one. But then I pulled out the right one. They was like, why you got two IDs? I was like, man, this, you know what I'm saying? This is when I get in the club with. I try to play it off. But they got my real ID, and it showed that I had a warrant. That warrant was 2017 from when the person that got scammed, his information is in Illinois. So they sent the person found out that somebody's using his information. He reported it. He went to the cops. The cops then connected with the people in the DC DMV area and found out. They found the person who actually had the goods, snitched and put it all on me. Boom. I'm incarcerated. Now, I don't know if you may know about this a little bit or a lot, but when it's a federal case and you don't know, it gets real tricky. So in my mind, because I've been to jail a few times before this last one, I'm thinking
You
I'm
think
about to
you
be
know
out the
what to
next day.
expect.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to be out the next day, and it wasn't a weekday. It was a
Right,
weekday. So I'm
right.
like, I actually called him and a few other people. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'll be out tomorrow. Nah,
Not this one.
when I got there in the morning, the feds came and pulled me into this box and started talking to me, and I was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I actually didn't know, cause it wasn't. They didn't dawn on me what it was. I was like, nah, they was like, why you have all these IDs and da da da. And I was like, I actually took that. I was like, this is why I got them. You know,
Yeah,
boom, boom, boom.
he got all these IDs. He got an international operation.
Oh yeah,
going.
they was all be bad. I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I ain't nothing I could do. So I was like, so they was like, all right, man, if you don't have any more information for us, then you know what I'm saying, we're gonna let you go. Boom. And I'm in the worst, man. Listen, I done been to all types of different jails in one prison, and this is worse than any place I've ever been at. Cook County Jail is definitely the worst
It is what they
place
say it is.
ever to be at, 100%. The speed fast. I talked. The feds came and talked to me. They sent me back up. I went from I knew something was weird when I went from the holding cell with everybody to a single cell. Then they moved me from the single cell to a dorm, which is a bit scarier for me than actually a cell. So a dorm, it's like a bunch of beds in the open, and if this is my bed,
You just in there.
somebody next to me, somebody right next to me, somebody behind me, somebody in front of me. That's how it is. So in reality, if you got a situation with somebody, you could get got.
Yeah.
And it's only a guard over there that's sitting at the podium, and there's probably a guard right there. But they be on the computer, they don't be paying no mind, so you can really get somebody. And in the showers, it's a
A
lot.
disaster.
But push come to shove, it went from me being in there from nobody was telling me what my charge was. So I was in there for a month. Still don't know what's going on. Second month come, I go to court. Go to court. They tell me the PD was like, yeah, this is your charge, which was identity theft, but it was a misdemeanor. I was like, oh, all right, man, I'll take it. And I didn't care about anything else.
Right.
I just took that, but the identity theft was only for the freaking IDs that was in my pocket, not for the warrant.
Not for the warrant.
They didn't tell me that. So I signed it. I go to court. They was like, hey, you free to go. Now I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. They was like,
And they do that on purpose. They knew that you was gonna think that it was over with. Yeah.
So a few more months didn't go past.
Lord have mercy.
A few more months go past. I'm like, I didn't call Prince. I didn't call my mans. I didn't call everybody. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come home. Whoop de whoop. I'm still sitting. A couple months in the past, I didn't went to court already. What's going on? So it was like, all right, Miss. They was like, Miss Thomas. They DC. That's what they called me in there. They was like, yeah, man, it's time to go. So, they take me downstairs. Hey, y'all know about this. If you've been incarcerated, this is the part they get to. They dress me out. They take off my jail clothes. That's what we gonna call it. They got a term for them. It's called jail clothes. I put my regular clothes back on. I'm like, all right, bet, I'm about to go home. Bet. I just need to call people and let them know. They take me out the back. After they dressed me down, they put handcuffs on me and they put me in a paddy wagon.
A whole nother warrant.
They're sending me to a whole nother space. They had to take me an hour and a half away to. Now I left Cook County. Now I'm going to Waukegan, Illinois. So it's an hour and some change away from where I'm at. I get there. And they give me the docket. So I want to let everybody know, if you are a person that tells on people, you snitch on, or you do any of that, if the cops tell you that they're not going to say your name, they're telling you
it's going to be in there.
So they give me the paperwork of why I'm really in jail still. And in this long-ass paperwork, this particular person has been informing on me since 2017 and has been around me in my life for that long. It's having her name. It's telling me where she went, where she got caught up at, what she said, everything, who she's been around. Whoop de whoop. So now I kirk out. I had a moment. I did, because I know I'm innocent, but this person has put the blame on me.
Right.
I kirk out. I lose my nugget. Because I see Class X felony, and the CEO, he laughed. He was like, "You will be in for a minute," and I was like, "Bro, that's not funny." And I kirked off. and I said something that I didn't mean to say, but they took it away, and I was like, man, something, man, something, all y'all can die, everybody should be dead, da da da, and I was just mad. Now I'm on suicidal watch. They put me in a freaking turtle suit.
Yeah.
If you watching this, Google what a turtle suit is.
So on that one, on that note, the turtle suit. Y'all gotta help us. Audience gotta help us. We're gonna pick back up in another segment because I knew this is gonna be. I knew it was gonna be too much for one session.
Man.
But Miguel, I know that you're doing some super amazing things again in this. I'll say in our social media department.
Yeah.
Is that right? Am I saying it the right? Am I saying it the right way?
You just Googled it.
Metalworks is really doing
You just Googled the turtle suit.
some amazing stuff. Just in closing, if you would, just give us a brief overview of kind of the content that you've been putting together for Metalworks and what has been the response you've seen in the community.
Yeah, so right now I am the media and marketing manager here at Metalworks. I have a team of young entrepreneurs that help me, bring these visions to life. And what we do is we meet with like Dr. G and Mr. Clay or Miss Christine and people who, are returning citizens, people who are having trouble with, when they came home, like, getting a birth certificate, getting a social security card, etc. I am showing those people that this place is available and it's a safe space. So I reached out to, other people like comedians and other social media influencers to kind of like bring light to the situation. And we capture it in a way so when people see these things, they're like, dang, all right, I'm okay with going to talk to somebody. And what it is and what the biggest problem is in our community is we don't want to go get help and we don't want to talk to nobody because we don't want to tell people our business or etc. Me doing it this way is helping Metalworks shed light on a situation that it is a safe place to come talk to come get help, to come get services that you need. When you come home, you don't got a birth certificate, you ain't got a social security card, you ain't got a driver's license, and if your family not on your side when you come home, you don't even have a place to stay. So Metalworks is providing all of those things, and I'm just basically capturing it so y'all can see what they do, so y'all can know what y'all can come and get.
What's an example of like the kind of the number of like feedback? What do we call them? Views on the?
When we started, Metalworks had about 60 followers.
For Metal Labs, is that what we?
Yep.
Okay.
So 60 followers on Instagram. Once I brung in my other teammates, like Prince Lamar, we are now at a whopping almost 5K now on Instagram. 4.3K and 10.4 thousand on TikTok. And the most views I done seen so far is like we're almost close to like 500K views on a video. Like it's going up. People are actually watching and people are paying attention and they're actually getting involved. And Dr. G, he's the man. He done got council people coming in, breakbeat. I didn't see the person that she's on big cases in our area. What's her name? That you brought?
State's Attorney Brayboy.
The state attorney.
Right.
Like he got his hands on some people. So yeah. So definitely come and check us out. Councilman Hawkins. See,
Senator Nick Charles. All of them have kind of come through. Yeah. So we're gonna close out this session of returning citizens for returning citizens on that note. And for the first time, we're gonna have to have a part 2.
Okay.
So Miguel, if you don't mind, if we can get on your calendar, I know you're busy. I hope maybe you'll be back from the West Coast or
man,
Dubai and these places.
Man,
maybe you can spend some time with us for another segment.
Yeah, we running back next Wednesday, or if whatever superstar over here got some time, we can run it back and we can really tell y'all what that turtle suit is.
That's what's up. We appreciate y'all for joining us one more time for another segment of Returning Citizens for Returning Citizens. Until the next time.